The word karma is thrown around so much in our society. We hear it when people are trying to say you reap what you sow, or what goes around comes around, or things of that effect. And we often forget the true depth of the meaning of karma, what it pertains to, and where it comes from. So let's go back to the origination of the word, the etymology, if you will, and let's pull from scripture. So there are two different types of karma. You have your Sanchita karma and you have your Prarabdha karma. Your Sanchita karma is like your bank balance. It's the vast accumulation of karma throughout all of your past lives. And the good deeds that are in that sort of pool, you can think of it as like the deposits that you make at a bank. And then your debt at a bank, you can think of that as your bad deeds. So your Sanchita karma is essentially, again, a pool of all of your karma from all of your past lives. Now, a portion of that has been ripened, if you will, is your Prarabdha karma, and that karma is what you are currently living in. It determines your family, your wealth at the time of birth, your opportunities at the time of birth. And oftentimes we hear like, this must be my karma, especially when it comes to bad things that happen in life. We often turn to like, this is just my karma, this is just my karma, without really realizing what we're saying. So I want to make sure that everyone kind of understands what karma is, and also be sure to check out the Karma Yogam video. I explain a lot more on how to actually practice Karma Yogam, which will help you burn your karma, because that's essentially your objective here in this lifetime. And again, let's get into like the actual meaning of the word. Hopefully this will be a quick video, because it's relatively simple. Once you start to understand it, you're like, okay, yeah, this makes perfect sense. Ground rules. You are your soul. You are not your body. Karma pertains to your soul. So what is the karma that's attached to your soul, and how has that traveled through all of your past lives, right? Because the thing that's consistent between you right now watching this video and all of your past lives is your soul, because that's the one that's actually experiencing life. And your body is just more of like the vehicle in which your soul experiences life. And the good and bad deeds that you commit to in this particular lifetime affects future lifetimes. So everything that happened in this lifetime is because of your past lives. Everything you do in this lifetime affects your future lives. And so when people start to talk about, like, oh, this is my karma, or I made a mistake on this exam, or I made a mistake in school, therefore I'm reaping the the negative aspects of that in my lifetime now, it's technically incorrect, because the situations that you committed to in school, you might not necessarily reap that in this lifetime. Like the negative and the good things that you do in this lifetime, you're not going to necessarily reap that in this lifetime. I say necessarily because Saranagathi is another big concept here. So the concept of surrendering and the concept of going to your acharya and, saying, okay, you know what? I only want moksham. I surrender, God. Give me no more lifetimes. I'm putting this so simply. Saranagathi actually eliminates all of your prarabdha karma. And so when you commit to Saranagathi, or when you go to your acharya and you bow down and you commit to praying to only one, for me it was praying to only one God. It was to commit to praying to Vishnu, and it's to say that I am a Vaishnavite and I will do my very best to follow the code of conduct, to follow sastram and to learn and to participate in fulfilling the duties that I have in this lifetime. Like when I do all of that and when I actually commit to it, I effectively delete my prarabdha karma. And then if I do have any transgressions after I commit to that Saranagathi, Bhagavan will give some sort of like punishment or some sort of like effect of that action in this lifetime. So I say like necessarily, because I'm not going to focus too much on the Saranagathi concept in this particular video. I think if you want to learn more about that, definitely let me know, because I don't know where we're at with that. So let's talk in the comments if you want to learn more about Saranagathi. For the purposes of this conversation, let's stick to just the meanings of the word and how you can apply this knowledge into your life. I think one of the biggest differences in learning the Bhagavad Gita and actually understanding how I can implement it in my life was truly and honestly understanding that I am my soul. Everything that I experience in this lifetime is going to effectively burn my karma. Think about that. Every bad thing that happens decreases my balance of bad deeds. I'm burning that balance. I'm burning that karma. And that's powerful because it helps me take a step back from the situation. Let's say I'm going through a really hard time right now and I feel like there's just no way out. I don't think I can, succeed. I don't think I'm going to, I'm not good enough. I don't feel like I'm doing enough, or whatever the case is for you, like whatever insecurities that you have, and you feel like you're having a really hard time. I just think of it as like, I'm just burning the negative balance that's in my pool of karma. Similarly, when there's a positive thing that happens, I just think I'm just burning the positive karma, because we need to get to a net zero. All karma needs to be at a net zero for us to obtain moksham, for us to obtain salvation, for us to reach God. So if I have this goal of having karma as a net zero, then both my positive and my negative balances have to be zero. I have to burn through everything. And it helps to think about the bad times in my life as just another vehicle for me to burn that negative karma or that positive karma, or the good times in my life to burn that positive karma. Not only because it brings distance between me and the problem, but it also helps me understand that like I'm not attached to anything. All I know how to do and all I can do is my duty. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna start doing all these bad things because I'm burning my bad karma. I don't want that to be the interpretation of this video. I want the interpretation to be I am not going to commit to suffering. People get mad at me when I say this, but pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. Suffering comes when there's a level of attachment to something. Pain is inevitable. Me getting pricked, me getting hurt by people, me, burning myself on the stove because I make mistakes when I'm cooking. Those kinds of things, pain is inevitable. The loss of a human being, right? The loss of a loved one, grief, shame, sadness, regret, guilt. The list goes on right there, right? That's all very painful. But the suffering that is attached to that is normally because I have an attachment to another material thing. I'm not trying to say don't be sad if you lost a loved one. What I'm trying to say is that's the premise of the Bhagavad Gita, right? That's the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna's I don't want to fight, I don't want to kill my relatives. And Krishna's hold on, you're a Kshatriya. Do your duty, you have to do your duty. You are somebody that needs to protect this nation. You need to protect your people. You need to stop adharma from happening. So commit to action. And don't worry about the results of this war, because people can't die anyway. The body might cease from existence the way you know it, but the soul will never die. The soul is untouched, it's unhurt. And it's up to us as individuals to help our soul advance. How do we help our soul advance? We have to burn through our karma. And it's as simple as doing your duty and not expecting any result. I say it's so simple, but it's not that simple. There are steps involved. Karma Yoga is a great place to start, and it really, really helps to incur less suffering. Because the moment I detach from the results of something and I'm so focused on just doing my action, I become so engrossed in the action, and I know that I'm doing the very best that I can do. And from a psychological perspective and more of a new age spirituality perspective, the thoughts that I have about myself are much more fluid. The energy in my body is much more fluid. Going to the physiological aspects of spirituality, the chakra system can flow. The energy in my chakras can flow. My confidence is there. My happiness is there. Because I'm so focused on doing the actual action and not worried about what result will come. When I worry about the outcome, I have an attachment to my perceived future, what I dictate my future to be. I have a control over what I want my future to be. And that creates suffering because I'm attached to how things should be. I'm not content with how things are. We need to be getting to a place where we are happy with what is. Again, disclaimer, that doesn't mean that we sit and allow life to pass us by. We are always here for self-improvement. We are always here to manage our mistakes and to correct and to be better as individuals and how we affect society. It's very important to partake in society. But that's why Karma Yoga is so beneficial, because we have work to do in this lifetime. We have families to protect. We have food to eat. We have money to procure. We have people that we want to aid. Like, I want to make these videos. We have people that we want to teach, the things that we want to learn, right? There are things that we want to do in this lifetime. So Krishna is saying, do them. Do all of those things. Make your money. Take care of your kids. Be there for your kids. Be there for your friends. Learn the material. Teach the material. Discuss the material. But don't be attached. My job is not to be attached to the subscriber number. My job is to do the work of making these videos. It's a difference. When you're focused on doing the work, you're not adding more karma to that very, very long list of deeds. Karma is just action or inaction. And when you think about it, I don't want to add more to that. I have past lifetimes that I don't even know how many lifetimes I've had. 200, 300, 400, 500? Who knows? I don't know. But it's a lot. So, bottom line, do your duty. Realize that you're your soul. Understand Sanchita karma and Prarabdha karma. Understand that you are in your Prarabdha karma and that's what you're living right now. Understand that your job is to burn your karma. Everything has to get to a net zero to obtain moksham, to reach God, to get salvation, to have true peace in your soul. Now, you might wonder, but it's hard. I can't do that. Karma sometimes acts like a veil on top of our heart that prevents us from reaching Bhagavan on like a normal basis. Like, why is it so easy for some people to just commit to action and not think about the results? Why is it so easy for people to just like get into spirituality and have no issues with it? Why is it so easy for people to just have that connection with God, whereas I have struggles with doubt and fear and faith? It's that karma sometimes acts like a shield on top of your heart, and it prevents you from seeing the true natures of God. But if you've stumbled across this video and you struggle with fear, doubt, lack of faith, if you struggle with any of those things and you want to be better in that, or you want to overcome that, not even be better because it's subjective. If you want to overcome doubt, fear, I suggest you look at what you are attached to and think about what that attachment means to you. A lot of times we want to control things because we feel like we are having a lack of control in either our emotions or something that's internal that's happening. Like, if I want to control the outcome of my career, then there's something inside of me that says that, first of all, I can't handle a certain situation, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not capable, or I'm not educated, or I have failed so many times in the past, therefore I will not succeed in the future. Like, there's all these like subconscious reprogramming things that need to happen. And it's really great to like analyze your belief systems and start to correct those. So subconscious reprogramming is your tool to help you overcome fear, doubt, and faith. But also remember that God is like the sunshine. The sun rises every single day and graces the entire world with its rays. God's love is even more permeating than that. It covers the span of the entire universe. And we want to meet God with the same level as we'll try, right? The same level of peace and love that He gives us. We'll never really be able to do that. Some of us can, but some of us can't. And it's good though to continue to try. Like, when you go to the temple, you don't want to go to the temple with like all your, negativity. You kind of want to like clear your mind, meditate, and go to the temple with as much peace and love in your heart and your mind as you can, so that when you go and talk to God, you can also hear what He's saying. Like, a clear mind is a receptive mind, and a receptive mind internalizes messages. And when you internalize the messages of God, you can actually start to implement them into your life. So if you're dealing with doubt, fear, and faith, God doesn't hate you. The universe doesn't hate you. No one is out to get you. I promise. I promise. Life is this beautiful experience that we get to have, and we get to be humans, and we get to expel our karma. So as a human being, I have this unique opportunity to change the course of my soul's journey by taking accountability of the fact that I am my soul and not my body. And while that can be a difficult journey to embark on, because our society has allowed us to be very obsessed with how we look and how we appear and how we succeed. And when I say how we look and how we appear, those are two different things, like my physical appearance versus like how societally I'm perceived. You know, how much money we make, the success that we have. With social media, it's like very public and we can compare ourselves very easily. And so we start to get trapped into sort of these like materialistic desires over and over and over again. It's time that we break free. Not only because it's not good for us, but because the environment is asking for it, society is asking for it, healing needs to take place globally, vulnerability, authenticity, these things are like just words that we throw around, but we don't understand the depth and the seriousness of it. So, especially in this Kali Yugam, it is so important to understand your relationship with yourself and to understand who you are, because you can create meaningful change, not just in your soul's journey, but in the entire world. I firmly believe that everybody individually has the ability to change the world, because energetically, the power that we can have is immense. If I just myself work on vibrating at the level of peace and love, 500 and above, and rise above hopelessness and shame and the lack of truth, if I rise above that, if I rise above falsehood, which globally 78% of the population of this entire world vibrates less than 200, which is truthfulness, I will be able to affect positive change on a global scale, individually. So imagine if like 10 people watched this video and all 10 of us decided to commit to seeing ourselves as our soul instead of our body. How much change could we create? We don't know. And that's the best part. So why not just do our duty? Let me know if you have any questions. Ran through that kind of fast, but I think that this is like an ongoing conversation. I think that that's the nature with like all my videos. I'm like, dang, I didn't talk about this. So there's a lot. Let me know what you are looking for. I have quite a few videos coming out for you soon. I have been working very hard on the Kali Yugam documentary, Winter Solstice, that's coming out on December 21st. So please do stay tuned for that. I have my magazine coming out as well. In the meantime, you can check out my Summer Solstice documentary, Senseless, and Rewritten, my Autumnal Equinox documentary, and then the corresponding magazines, and I have merch, and it's a whole thing. So please do check out theindianstandard.co. I have been working 400 days on this Winter Solstice documentary to make sure that I'm capturing the meaning of Kali Yugam, and it's the Kali Yugam of all issues, because it's just taken me so long. But I am excited to say that I'm very near completion, 99% completion of this documentary, and heart and soul is in this. So I really hope that you guys enjoy it. It was so much fun to work on. It was very difficult to work on. It taught me a lot, but hey, that's the work, right? So I'm happy to be of service. So do let me know what videos you want to see from me. All right, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you next time. Bye.